we are fighting a machine that has $500 million. That's the type of machine we're fighting. But the good news is that even with that fight, it's interesting how both parties have come together to keep us off the ballot. Both parties have come together to white us out of the media. Not only our party, but other so-quote third parties or alternative parties. And I think everybody can do something. If you can't give money, then you can send a letter to CNN or any of the major mainstream news channels that have refused to have Cynthia McKinney on the air. Cynthia McKinney is not the presumptive nominee, she is the nominee. She's an African-American black woman nominee. And not only do we have mainstream shutting her out, we have a lot of Black and Latino radio stations and conglomerates shutting both of us out. And it's really true, when one person writes a letter, they often take that for 50, even 100 people. It takes an email. So many of us are online all the time. Ask CNN why they won't have Cynthia McKinney on for 5 minutes. Ask Comedy Central, Bill Maher, Stephen Colbert, MSNBC. You know, ask those so-called progressive media outlets like the Huffington Post, The Nation, The Progressive in these times, why they refuse to even cover one story. Not only on the historical nomination of 2 women of color on a ticket, but the Green Party itself. It's very important that we ask those questions. So if you can't give money, if you can't petition, you can push some of these mainstream stations to have us on the air. It's so critical. I really believe that if people knew what our platform stood for, that 5% that we need, the 5% that the Green Party needs to be a major party and pull down federal matching funds and financing would happen. And as I tell a lot of people, if 5% is the difference between Obama and McCain, McCain and Obama, then what the fuck are they doing? They got $500 million and the Green Party could fuck up their shit? That's serious right there. And that's why they're afraid. And that's why they've been calling their people in the media to not let us on the air. The day after the nomination, Cynthia had 6 interviews lined up with all the major mainstream outlets. And within 24 hours, each one was canceled. On top of that, black radio, Latino radio that's supposed to be there for the community, Cynthia has not been on Tom Joyner, Michael Basin, Open Line here in New York. Why? They're afraid. They're afraid of corporations, but they're afraid of having the truth come out. So everyone can play a part in this. And as I tell people, of course I want y'all to vote. But if that's not your thing, you're still my comrade. You still got to organize, organize, organize around this. And the best thing that people could do is open up the media right now. Not only the mainstream, but all the so-called progressive alternative media that sits in New York City. The independent and indie media or Democracy Now! Should not be the only people here tonight. So that's something that we could all do.